Welcome to another episode of Brawl Till We Fall. Alright, this is our 6:30 edition. We're going to talk about WWE and all the events that took place this week. So we're going to start off with Raw, of course. It's the premiere show of WWE. So we start off with Jey Uso coming out, and he hyped up the crowd. That's my boy Jay. Got everything hyped, got everybody going, and then he invited his brothers out because he knew they were there. So they came out, and he had a back and forth with his brother Jimmy. Their face-off, as you say, before WrestleMania, which is only a few days away, in a couple of weeks. As I said in the last broadcast, we're going to be doing a whole lot of things that weekend, starting Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and we're just going to be doing our thing for WrestleMania. It is 40 years of WrestleMania, as you know. There's a lot of things going on. We will be at the NXT program, so it's going to be a lot of things happening that weekend. I won't be alone. I'll be with my brothers. Some of us, because some brothers are in Atlanta, some brothers are in the New York area, and then I have my other two brothers that's going to be from New York that's going to be with me in Philly. So it's going to be a lot to cover. So with that being said, unfortunately, it's going to be all about WrestleMania. It's going to be all about WWE. So AEW will be taking the back seat that weekend. However, AEW got its pay-per-view coming up, its major pay-per-view of the year. And hopefully I can get out to London and check that out. If not, I still will be showing the previews and all that and doing my thing for that and covering that as well. But now let's get back to Raw. So his brothers came out. They had a back and forth with each other. And Jimmy tried to take credit. But before that, Jay said, that he missed being with his brother. But that's what set Jimmy off. Because Jimmy was like, wait, I'm not the one who left. You left. And I tried to protect you, and I'm only doing this because of you. So then he tried to take credit for all his success because Jay, is one of the premier wrestlers on Raw. He is doing his thing over there, hyping things up. And he's basically, a solo act over there that's really, pushing the envelope, on the solo tip. But Jimmy tried to take credit for it. And Jay told him, look, the highlight of my career is going to be when I super kick you. I ain't going to say all the words, but when I super kick you at WrestleMania. And after that, the brawl broke out and they started to fight. His brother Sokoa tried to jump in, but he knocked him off of the ring apron. So, fight broke out. They were about to jump him. Then out came the save from Cody. Cody got his back, and they got each other's back. We're going to get into that when we get into SmackDown too. But moving on from that, they setting that up for WrestleMania. That's a great brother versus brother. Honestly, I understand Jay and his concept of leaving in the first place, because who wants to face their family? That's your blood. This is your twin brother. You know what I'm saying? And as I say, blood is thicker than water. And I'm going to get into that too, of my concepts between The Rock and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. So we can get into that later. But for right now, let's continue. We had a WrestleMania Tag Team Ladder Qualifier match with DIY versus the Creed Brothers. Great match. I have no complaints about that. It was very entertaining. Everything was good. However, DIY wins to enter that tournament for the Tag Team Championship. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell defeated Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. And then Cody Rhodes had his in-ring segment. He says that SmackDown, he will be there. And he was interrupted by Paul Heyman, of course. And because if the bloodline is there, then Paul has to be there. Somebody got to, keep these guys in check. So Paul Heyman was there, made his statement that Roman Reigns will be on SmackDown by himself, no bloodline, And he suggests that Cody do the same. Now, my perspective, this is a setup. But at the end of the day, Cody agreed. And like I said, we'll get into that SmackDown segment and see what actually took place. But for now, that was what took place in the ring and Cody's in-ring segment. Now, after that, let me see, we had Ricochet, which is an easy match. He defeated Dirty Dom. Even with JD in his corner, Dom couldn't pull it off, and Ricochet beat him up, and that was good. I like that. The IC Championship contract signing, Adam Pearce with Sami Zayn and Gunther. Now, if if you've been watching Raw, then you know that Sami has been getting some slack from Chad Gable. Chad Gable feels that he should have been in that position, but he lost. So, and in my opinion, like I said, I don't care. The 6 guys that was in that gauntlet, I don't think any of them can beat Gunther. And I don't think Sami Zayn is going to do it either, especially now because Chad Gable's already in his head. If you already second guessing yourself, you already lost. That's just my opinion. So I don't think Sami's going to win that. I think Gunther is going to retain his title and eventually face somebody to caliber of his, like Brock Lesnar or even Obafemi, because but we'll get into him in a minute. But yeah, that would be an awesome match. But now, like I said, he already got Chad Gable in his head. Now on to some comedy. The Awesome Truth is in the back, and he saw Indus coming out. They look angry, and he was like, I hate to see the guys that face him. Well, to no avail, him and his partner came out to face them, the Miz, and as you say, the Awesome Truth, as they reunited themselves. And the comedy of it is, these guys actually won. They beat Indus. Indus is some big dudes, some real big brothers, and they actually won. But it didn't win like, a normal win. This was an accident. He hit him with the elbow. He hit the Miz, pulled the other guy out, and the Truth pinned him without even knowing. He didn't even know he won. That was the funniest thing I've seen. I mean, honestly, the Truth is bringing the comedy. He's funny, dude. He's bringing the comedy. But congratulations, you did win. So they're in that championship bracket. So they're there to go into WrestleMania. So you'll see Awesome Truth at WrestleMania. The next match was the tag team ladder match qualifier match, which was New Day versus the Alpha Academy, and that was an easy match for New Day. Honestly, they won, so they also in that match to qualify for the tag team belts. So now, in that ladder match, is going to be very, very interesting. And to end off Raw, well, before we get to that, we had an in-ring segment by Drew McIntyre that was interrupted before he even get to the ring. Seth Rollins' music hit, and he came out and interrupted him. They had their back and forth as well. Although Rollins had the last word. No fights, none broke out. But again, when you let somebody get into your head, and this is my prediction, I'm giving you these sneak predictions because at the end of the day, it's too easy to not just say that McIntyre is going to lose. Seth Rollins is not going to lose his belt to McIntyre. That's my prediction. Now, my brothers, on the other hand, have some different opinions. But I don't believe that Seth is going to lose to McIntyre. The only way that I believe that Seth will lose that championship to McIntyre is if The Rock or any of the Bloodline interfere in that match. If he don't get no interference from anybody, he's going to beat McIntyre. McIntyre is already, his brain is not there, And another thing is what you're not looking at is, which I'm going to bring this up later, but just so you know, We're gonna have next week. They're gonna be in Chicago. Raw's gonna be in Chicago, and CM Punk is gonna be there. So you have to keep in mind, CM Punk might just cause McIntyre to lose. Who says that he's not gonna be at WrestleMania? Who says that he may not have a say in who's gonna win that match? So with that being said, that's just my opinion and my assumption of what might happen. My prediction, I should say. But anyway, next we had, or I should say, the final match of the night was the last woman standing match between Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. Man, that was a heck of a match. They went back and forth. Tables got smashed. Everything went on. It was just crazy. But finally, the man, Becky Lynch, finally has a win over Nia Jax. So, with that being said, she did her thing. Then Rhea Ripley, of course, comes out to pose with the championship. But I'm going to be honest with you. The man is a tough person to beat. Rhea Ripley is tough too. I give her all the credit. But you have to admit, in the last few weeks, Rhea Ripley has been doing her own mess and handling herself. But in the beginning, she did have some help. So, with that being said, it's going to be a great match to see. If there's no interruptions and there's no Dirty Dom and there's nobody in there to distract anybody, if it's a one-on-one match, this will be great to see who is the actual dominant female in WWE. So, I will look forward to seeing that, and hopefully there's no interruptions. I would like to see that. I don't have no predictions for that one because, to be honest with you, these are two tough chicks, and this is going to be a real good match. All right. So that's what happened with that. Let's move on to NXT. So we start off with the Wildfire. Roxanne Perez. She's been going wild. Tearing people up. Doing stuff, breaking arms and everything else. Versus Tatum Paxley. And there was no competition for this one because Roxanne was all over the place. This brawl even started on the ramp. That's right. Roxanne started this on the ramp. She is showing that even though she's little, she got a lot of fire. And she beat the hell out of Tatum Paxley, needless to say. And she won. But with the crossface after she hit Pop Rocks. So she wanted to hurt this girl. So, to no avail, Roxanne is on fire right now, and she is running mad, and she wants that belt, and she's going to do whatever she got to do to get it back. But she never lost it in the first place, so I understand her anger and frustration. Briggs came out to challenge Obafemi. All I got to say is, didn't you see what happened to your brother last week? And Obafemi took it easy on him. Said, hey, you come challenging him. What you think gonna happen to you next week? But to no avail, as they were going back and forth, then Dijak comes out to interrupts, and then a brawl breaks out, and you know the rest if you watched NXT. If you don't, a brawl broke out. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Dijak may be that challenge for Obafemi because he's been going through guys. Because these guys, they really don't have the caliber that Obafemi is. He's a strong, powerful dude. And I seen Dijak in the match where he had, where he was in the cage. He's faced some real big dudes. And he's a big guy. In fact, he's bigger than Obafemi in a sense. One height. But I think Obafemi with that power is going to overpower Dijak. And he's going to put him in his place. And hopefully shut him down because he thinks he's the biggest dog in NXT. So hopefully Obafemi will silence that and basically make him submit to something because Obafemi is my boy. That's my boy. I'm rolling with Oba on that one. Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus No Quarter Catch Crew. Charlie Dempsey and Miles Bourne. Nathan Frazier gets the pin and the win, showing No Quarter Catch Crew that they are not all that great. Because these guys think that they're the best. They think that they are Team Angle or something, you know. But no, you guys ain't all that great. However, they redeemed themselves. Match with Chase U for the Heritage Cup, where Drew Gallagher redeems the No Quarter Catch Crew reputation with the win over Riley Osborne to retain the cup. So they redeemed themselves, but I still don't think y'all all that. There was a couple of things that happened, but I'm not gonna get into all of the shenanigans, the entertainment. I'm getting to the facts, to things that people love to see, and that's that Noam Dar versus Trick Williams. You know, Trick is my boy. It's a guy I represent. Now, again, I think that him and Lash Legend would be a great team, but she showed her true colors during this match when she tried to slap him and tried to basically distract him from Noam Dar, which she's shown that her allegiance and that who she's faithful and loyal to is Noam Dar and that crew. So, that being what it is, Trick Williams did not allow that to happen, didn't allow the slap to happen, and he still beat Noam Dar. Only to get a beatdown from this dude, Carmelo Hayes. Melo, I'm going to say this. You sat there, you talked all that mess, said what you're going to do to this man, only to come out with security and sneak my brother from behind. You're showing your weakness. Again, I go back to what I said in the Raw. You already lost. If you think that you got security to protect you and they're going to protect you, it's been shown many times. Many guys have come out with security and have gotten what's coming to them. There is a such thing as karma. And the more you beat down Trick Williams from behind, and all that shows just the type of person you are. And that you're scared and afraid. Be a man. One-on-one. Put yourself in that ring face to face with Trick Williams. Then you get that respect. But right now, I don't have no respect for you right now, brother. And you know Trick Williams is going to beat the hell out of you. That's why you got the security. Ain't nobody paying money for security if you know you the man. You're not him no more. And Trick Williams is going to show you just who you are. I can't wait for that. That's why I got my ticket for NXT. I'm going to be there WrestleMania weekend. I want to see Trick Williams beat some sense into you. Alright. That's it for NXT. Now let's get to the main event, SmackDown. So, SmackDown, great show. Started off with Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar to kick things off. And the nightmare that keeps on haunting Rey Mysterio. Dirty Dom, his son. So just as he was about to beat the hell out of, I should say, whip that Trick. Thanks to my man, Trick Williams. And the audience has been saying that, whip that Trick. So you know Trick Williams is the main eventer. But anyway, back to the match. So he was about to whip up Santos Escobar and win the match, and then his son Dirty Dom comes out and causes him the match. So Santos Escobar got that win. But trust me, Dirty Dom, your time is coming. I'll predict right now that your crew gonna turn on you one day, and you're gonna be looking at your daddy to save you, and he ain't gonna be nowhere around. Karma, it always comes back to haunt you. Moving on, the WrestleMania qualifier tag team ladder match on SmackDown. This one was Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the OC. And OC, they great at NXT. They bring a whole new vibrant group. And, they've been doing their thing in NXT. But SmackDown, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller is some dudes that they do whatever they got to do to cheat and win. They do whatever they got to do to win. They cheat. So, I didn't see that was going any other way but to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, who won that match. Naomi versus Io Sky. Now, if you don't know what happened, okay, last week Bailey got into some stuff with the damage control, and out came Naomi to her rescue, even after Bianca told her not to. And of course, Io Sky had to put her 2 cents into it and finish it off. So Naomi challenged her, and they got into a fight. And it started off as a one-on-one. There was no damage control. Nobody was out there. But then they start showing up. And of course, due to some interferences, of course, Naomi lost that. But damage control came out and tried to beat her down. And they had already taken care of Bailey in the back already. So she really didn't have no backup, though, so they thought. But for once, I like to say we all stick together. Our sisters and brothers stick together. So out came Bianca Belair to the rescue. And to no avail, they both got beat down. Asuka spit that mist in Naomi's eyes, causing her blindness. And so I'm just going to give you a spoiler. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion and a spoiler. Okay. So, Jade Cargill is supposed to make her debut next week, if you didn't know. Yeah, she's supposed to make her debut on SmackDown. My opinion, I didn't think Jade Cargill should have been on SmackDown. She should have been on Raw. She should have been over there. And she should have been challenging Nia Jax, who thinks he's the biggest dog in the yard over there, and boosting her career, while Bianca boosting her career over here in SmackDown, showing that she's the biggest dog in the yard. And then eventually they face off. That's my opinion, and that's the way I would have wrote this. However, because she's on SmackDown, and a group of girls are at a disadvantage to Damage Control, I believe she's going to join them next week, which is going to lead to a 6-man tag. So, Io Sky's already facing Bailey, so the other 3 ain't in it. So, it's safe to say that you're going to have Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill. And honestly, as much as Damage Control cheat and they do what they do, when the numbers are even, and these girls over here, that power of Jade Cargill and and Bianca Belair, man, they're gonna send these girls back to kindergarten. They're gonna tear these girls up, and it's rightfully so. It's about time. That's the way I look at it. Damage Control has been running roughshod all along, but they're gonna see that they should not have did that to Bailey because they're strength in numbers. But their time is coming. If this is indeed the result, Damage Control is about to get what's coming to them, and rightfully so. That's what I got. All right, moving on to other news. Meanwhile, LA Knight got arrested. He actually went to AJ Styles' house and challenged to a fight on his yard. And they fought. And I mean, they were wrestling and tussling all over the yard until the cops came and arrested LA Knight. But he told him, I'm going to keep coming back until you meet me in the ring face to face. And this is what happens when you keep jumping people from behind. So AJ Styles got what's coming to him, and that's going to be that. And I don't understand why AJ Styles, he's one of the best and top wrestlers. I honestly think he can beat LA Knight. And that's just to me. Because LA Knight got maybe 2-3 moves. And I've seen him in TNA. I know he can wrestle. But AJ Styles got 16 different ways to beat you. Why? Why AJ? Anyway, that's the way I look at it. We had another WrestleMania qualified tag team match. The Street Profits versus the Authors of Pain. And Street Profits actually won. I give credit to them. Them brothers put in a lot of work because that was a hard match. But they pulled it off and they actually won. So they're going to be also in this tag team match, the ladder match. It's going to be crazy. Street Profits. Oh my God, it's gonna be interesting. Well, I say that, but they still got it. One more obstacle. They got to face Grayson and Waller next week. But I think they're gonna pull that off. Even though Grayson and Waller know how to cheat, I think they're gonna pull that one off. At least I hope the Street Profits pull that one off to make it to WrestleMania. I'd rather see them than them two. But anyway, there was the in-ring segment, which closed out SmackDown. And this is where we go back to Raw, where Cody was approached by Paul Heyman and said that he would be alone. And so Cody showed up alone. The Tribal Chief showed up alone, as you may think. But they were in the ring. They did their back and forth with each other. Said what he had to say. He said what he had to say. And next thing you know, the Tribal Chief stepped out, snapped his fingers, and out come the Bloodline. And they thought, because he actually called Cody stupid for coming there alone. He said that he was smarter than he was. Lo and behold, Seth Rollins came from one end, and Jey Uso came from the other, which showed that Cody ain't all that dumb or stupid as you called him. He had one up on you, and he was ready for you. Now, how this gonna play out at WrestleMania, I don't know, because at the end of the day, Cody has his one-on-one, but after the match with him and Seth Rollins got to think about Drew McIntyre. Jay got to think about Jimmy, which leaves Solo. Which means that even though The Rock said that if they actually beat him and the Tribal Chief on the night before, that Cody will have a one-on-one match. I don't know. I don't see it happening. So with that being said, Solo is still running solo. He ain't got no match for WrestleMania. So this might leave Cody again not finishing his story. That's all I got. Something to think about. I don't know. Maybe that thing that I keep reading on all over the place, Cody maybe need to call in his brother. Maybe AEW and WWE need to make an arrangement for his brother to show up. I don't know. Maybe Dustin needs to make an appearance. However, a good friend of Dustin's is now a free agent again. From what I'm hearing, Keith Lee is now looking to come back to WWE. He is a good friend of Dustin Rhodes. They were tag team together in AEW. So, just throwing that in your ear. You know me, Mr. Controversy. You never know what may happen at WrestleMania, but expect the unexpected. That's all I got. Thank you once again for tuning in to Brawl Till We Fall, and I'll catch you next week for more updates on different wrestling and all the shows that's coming. Just to give you an update, like again, I said that Jade Cargill will make her debut next week on SmackDown. Raw will be in Chi-Town, and CM Punk is scheduled to make an appearance. And on April 1st, right before WrestleMania, The Rock comes to Brooklyn, New York for Raw. So it's going to be some interesting shows coming, and I hope to be able to just bring it to you. This is your boy Tony Oso Teo, and I'm out. Peace.